Hey guys, I'm Vita. I'm going to show you a brief explanation of my layout, my UI, how I do it, and why I do it. I use a core LUI with Weakauras, and that's it. Obviously you can see recount here. Get that out of the way. LUI has some really cool features like the expandable menu and expandable buttons that you can hide away during raid. And it just looks pretty cool. I like it. With one click of the button you can hide all your additional frames and pop them back up. This is for Omen. Now, that's all cosmetic. When it comes to actual raiding, I focus on damage done and damage taken. I want to maximize my damage and reduce the amount of damage I take. So how do I do that with my UI? When we start auto-attacking the boss, you'll see the first thing that pops up is this expose armor button. That's saying that the boss doesn't have any form of Sunder armor on it. He doesn't have my expose armor, a warrior's Sunder armor, a druid's fairy fire, nothing. Now, if I'm in a raid environment and that happens, obviously it's up to me to put on the exposed armor. It's a huge DPS loss not to have it up, and while it is a bit of a DPS loss to put it up, it's still better than not having it. It also is going to benefit your hunters, your ferals, all your other physical DPS classes. Now you can see here, tracking my trinkets and their internal cooldowns. This bar counting up and this bar counting up are my trinkets' internal cooldowns, so I know when they're about to proc again. Icon here to tell me rupture's off. We'll put that back on. Obviously you want exposed armor. And if we wait long enough, our slice and dice will come back down. Now, if I turn on my burst macros, you can see the countdowns for all my different burst abilities, my Synapse Springs, my Berserking, my Shadow Blades, my Vendetta. How much longer I have on those abilities. There's my Slice and Dice and Rupture falling off as well, so that I can plan accordingly with my combo points. Whenever they are done, they'll come over here and show me their cooldown, so that I can know at a glance when my next round of burst is coming up and when it's going to be. You can see my swing timer down here, which doesn't really matter for the most part. Now, to avoid damage taken, obviously, I'm going to feint a lot. And I like this graphic. This is Weakauras once again. It just shows me that feint's up and that it's active, and I don't have to take my screen off of my character, because when feint's up, I'm either avoiding something, trying to stack on somebody, or having to stand in something. So I want it really visible. I really want it on my character, surrounding where my character is standing. So it's just a lot easier to notice those sorts of things. My Cloak of Shadows works the same way that my burst cooldowns do. Whereas whenever it's gone, the cooldown will start showing, so whenever I can use it again, it'll be available. By default, recount is set to hide in combat. The only reason it's not now is because I activated it. It gives you a nice, clear, concise view of your character. The most important thing as a rogue is obviously your energy and your combo points. So I have that clearly visible, and everything else is hidden away. Anything else that obstructs my view is there for a reason. Obviously, I want my exposed armor to obstruct my view. That's a lot of DPS I'm losing if that falls off the target and nobody refreshes it. I need to know that. Everything else is just built to look nice and clean. You can hide your toolbars if you want. Obviously, I don't have a keybind on exposed armor right now because I do have a feral druid in my group that applies fairy fire to the target. If that was the case, if that wasn't the case, I could just switch that out and add it to a keybind. No problemo. Whenever I'm out of combat, I have all my mounts and professions here. It's a pretty nice little deal. Thank you for watching.